back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host and bestie.
Welcome back to the Pod Lab, Cathrine.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, here we are. There's a little thunderstorm in the area, but we're not worried about that.
Yeah, and they said it's a tornado warning.
Yeah, we were just debating. What does that mean?
What's worse, watch or warning?
Know. All I know is when I get those alerts,
yeah,
I am like, oh, right away, look at the radar. Where are we?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not quite so much.
I am, because in this house, we do not have a basement. So we have a crawl space. And I've been in there during a tornado, and it's no fun.
Yeah. We don't have a basement either, as you know. And we don't even have a crawl space. You have to go outside and crawl under, like, it's just earth. And like,
have you been in there during a tornado?
never.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I don't know.
I will
that
go
I would
in the
do that.
bathroom in the bathtub.
Yeah, there you go. Pull the mattress over your head.
Probably not. Probably not.
So anyway, hopefully we'll be able to get through this recording with no, power outages or anything like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we are bringing to our listeners episode 217, and this is the, wait, are we on the 4th?
I think we are.
Okay, so this is part 4 of an 8-part series on how to enjoy your life through these various things that we think, are important. So today is how to enjoy your life through financial well-being and retirement planning. Yawn.
I know. When I saw this one, I'm like, oh.
I know. But whatever.
We got to have content.
This is what it is.
And AI told us to
do it.
So
we asked AI, what are the important things to women over 50? And this was one of the top ones.
This was one of them. Thank you very much. I'm just looking forward to when we can do a documentary again.
No, it's coming. All right. So this is going to be so exciting, despite Catherine's lack of enthusiasm.
You said it first.
It's true. I
brought it up.
It's so true. These are the takeaways. If you stick with us for the next 30, 40 minutes, whatever it is, Cathrine found an article about the benefits to being financially stable. She's going to kind of summarize that article. I can't wait for the benefits. We're both going to talk about downsizing, because downsizing is something that we've both done within the last 5 years, and it's really been a tremendous help.
Yeah.
So we're both going to talk about downsizing, and we have some funny stories to share about that. And then finally, we're going to talk about retirement, because I am 59. You are 55?
Yes.
Soon to be 56.
I know.
You're getting over that 50s hump.
I know.
Let me tell you, it's a slippery slope from 50.
Thank you, Grim Reaper.
I thought you were going to call me Grandma.
Father time. No, mother time.
Yeah. That's a little inside joke, because at my husband's work, some of you may know if you've been to my comedy show that I refer to my husband as Muffin. That's just a little pet name, came up in the early on stages, and then the boys are the mini muffins, and I'm the bakery, and blah, blah, blah. Well, the guys at work call him Grandpa, or they did call him Grandpa, because he's the oldest one on the crew. It's a construction crew. Well, then one of the guys actually became a grandpa, and Ron said, well, I can't be grandpa because that guy's a grandpa, and that guy's a lot younger than him. And so then the guy said, well, we'll just start calling you Father Time.
I think it's hilarious.
It is
love
funny.
That. Yeah.
Poor Ron. He can't wait to retire. Anyway, all that to say, our third takeaway today is going to be talking about retirement and just really how quickly that sneaks up on you. As always, I know it does. As always, we have some inspirational scripture as well as a call to action. Before we get to all of that, Cathrine, please give a little summary of how one could sponsor us if they so chose.
If they so chose?
Yeah, if they so chose.
If you feel compelled, you must go to tracydegraff.com, follow the prompts, and help us out here. We have things to pay for, platform, equipment, and all the stuff to put the podcast out. But you, listeners, humor consumers, you can become a contributor, a humor contributor.
Yes.
And help support us.
Yes, it would be greatly appreciated. And most of our sponsors give $5 a month, and they do it on a recurring basis, which actually helps us to plan. We appreciate gifts of any size and at any time. So don't let that stop you. You know, if you want to give $1, give $1. If you want to give $100, give $100, whatever you want to give. If you can do $5 a month on a consistent basis, it helps us to plan for what can we add to this podcast. Like we're trying to add video, and that's like, look at the camera, Catherine. That's us.
I see.
Oh.
Yay.
Whatever. We need help with that, because just getting the camera stuff together and all the equipment, it's a thing. Mm-hmm. And then so we've been recording these episodes, but I don't know how to get them out of the device and into editing and then onto wherever they're supposed to go. So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
But we have to pay somebody to help us. So help us help you. Help me help you. How about that?
Like Jerry Maguire.
Yeah,
said.
right. Yeah, for sure.
Help me help you. I think that's who said it. I don't know.
It is. When it's going, show me the money.
Show me the money.
Okay, let's dive in, Catherine. Episode 217, what say you? 5 benefits to being financially stable.
Well, some of the benefits are reduced stress and improved health. Hello. That's a huge reason, because financial stability alleviates stress, improving physical and mental health.
Yeah.
Sleep and immune function.
Yeah, it's no fun to be stressed out about your money.
No, been there.
Done that. For sure.
Yes.
To be looking, have you ever looked around your house going, how many Longaberger baskets do I?
Oh, I thankfully have not had that, but other stuff. Yeah.
I have had that moment where I've been like, I used to sell Longaberger baskets, and those things used to be so expensive.
I remember that.
Crazy. And the smaller the basket, the more money they wanted for it. Okay. And I used to do these little shows where people would write checks in the old days when we had paper checks, and you could post date them or whatever, you know, so that you could clear the whatever. People would write a check for a couple $100 for a couple baskets. And I was just amazed. I was like, what is this basket voodoo that causes people?
Crazy. Yeah.
So then I do actually remember being a little short on cash and looking around going, well, those Longaberger baskets are worth some money.
I'll tell you this. I have looked around my house at different times and been like, what can I sell off? Yeah, for sure. Speaking of those baskets, I always think about my dad, how, so years later, after the Longaberger baskets had its rise and then kind of fall, and you'd start to see them at garage sales. My dad one time said to me, he's like, oh, I went to a garage sale because I want a basket for my bike. And he's like, geez, they wanted whatever the amount of dollars it was. It was high.
Yeah.
I said, Dad, those are probably Longaberger baskets, you know, and had to explain the whole thing. He's like, it's just a basket.
Right. They don't get it.
It's made in the USA, Dad.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on the 5 benefits?
Yeah. Enhanced mental well-being, which, you know, stability reduces anxiety.
Yeah.
Been there, depression. And it promotes happiness and healthier coping mechanisms. You know, you're not running to the bottle or, you know, abusing substance abuses. Because that's the thing. When people are, you know, feeling... You know, we run to all kinds of different things.
Yeah, we do.
To soothe our mental health, you know. Stronger relationships. It reduces, you know, conflict, perhaps in your marriage or whatever. It enhances communication because, you know, you're not hiding stuff when you're financially secure.
Those bills come and you just stuff them down in the seat of the car.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what new purse? Get this.
Yeah, and this, like, did you hear that?
Oh, it's thunder.
It is thunder. I hope it's not that tornado. Anyway,
yeah.
So we came up in life in adult life. We became adults like in the 90s, right? Like that's when we got married and had kids, and I mean we were in charge. Yeah. Well, back then you didn't have the digital footprint that you have today. Like you didn't have an Amazon account.
Right.
Like you could go to the store and buy something even with a check. And and your partner would not know immediately what you did. Maybe never know. And you could hide the bags.
Well, that's true. When your car or closet, I mean, I wouldn't know. I never did that.
Me neither. I'm just saying hypothetically.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Greater career flexibility. And how is that, you wonder?
Yeah, how is that,
Well, it
Catherine?
says stability allows for career shifts, education, and entrepreneurship without financial fear. Because, you're not putting a lot at risk. You're not like,
You kind of went away.
oh, well,
I don't know what happened. Did we lose power?
I didn't hear it go
Okay,
away.
sorry. Go
I
ahead.
don't know.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, so that's...
So when you're more
stable.
secure, you're able to make some moves, is what they're saying.
That is correct.
Yeah, so that you don't have to go, oh, I can't possibly
I can't.
take one day off work to start a business because
Exactly.
no can do. Okay.
Exactly. And lastly, improved credit opportunities. A stable financial foundation boosts access to credit and favorable loan terms.
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't have to have like a big loan, but just depends
Yeah.
how much you need.
Right.
Yeah, so overall, financial stability fosters better health, relationships, career opportunities, and financial opportunities. I would say in one word, freedom.
Yeah. And peace, really. You know that Dave Ramsey, everybody loves Dave.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Financial Peace University, it's his curriculum that he, offers to churches to get people on his system, which is basically to live debt free.
Yeah.
And he says that the number one thing that couples argue about is money.
Yeah, he's not the only one that says that.
Yeah.
Most financial or anybody who does research says that that's the number one thing. I mean, the Bible talks more about money than prayer and anything else.
Yeah, that's interesting. And Ron and I have been married now almost 36 years. How long have you and Kenny been married?
I don't know, 32?
Okay, I would say this, not like that's a lot of marriage between the two of our families. There's a fair amount of disagreements that come over like major purchases.
Yes.
Ron and I right now are in the middle of, after 36 years of marriage, right? We're in the middle of purchasing a new car.
Yeah.
That comes up every then and again. You can't drive the same car for 30 years. You have got to put your heads together and come up with a new car.
Uh-huh.
Well, I have my perspective. He has his perspective. Do you know how many options there are for cars out there? It's endless.
Yeah.
It's
there's
endless.
a lot.
You can buy a new car. You could buy a pre-certified car. You can buy a gently used car.
You can lease.
Oh, gosh, yeah. There's so many options.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, let's just say it can create some thunderstorms.
And it can create,
it can be a
difference
tornado
of
watch.
opinions. Right.
But we're getting through it, and we got through it with prayer. The two of us sat down and we prayed together. After we figured it out ourselves first.
Yeah.
Like he wanted this, I wanted that. And then we both came together and prayed about it, and we're like, let's just let the Lord direct and guide. And we both got on the same page, which is the best way. We should know this.
Well, sometimes we just let that old flesh get in the way.
We do. All right. Anything else about before we move on, about the benefits of being financially stable?
I think I hit it all.
All right, let's go to point number 2. We're going to talk about downsizing. Now, the Shipman family and the DeGraff family, we both downsized roughly 5 to 7 years ago. We downsized because we used to live out in the country, and each one of us owned 2.5 acres of property, and we had houses built on those 2.5 acres. So it was a like out in the country situation.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine, I want you to share from your perspective, how did downsizing help you to regain financial footing?
Well, as you mentioned, we lived on a lot of property. We had 2.5 acres, and we had a big house, and it was all brick. And so our taxes just kept going up and up and up. And our income wasn't going up as fast as the taxes were.
Yeah.
And our kids were getting older. And one way we didn't have to... Well, no, Ellis was still in high school. So I was about to say we didn't have to support them as much, like paying for sports, but
yeah.
Then again,
then
we
you have college.
Right.
My goodness. After high school, you have college stuff to deal with and cars, like major expenses.
Yeah. And so Kenny and I just felt like, we're it's getting to be in over our heads, and it was a very difficult decision to make, but I really did feel, and I still do, I know that the Lord was prompting us to not have that burden.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that for us.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that for anyone.
Right.
You know? And so we had to...
Can I ask you?
What? You scared me.
Sorry. Was the hardest thing leaving me?
It was hard. Yes. It was. We had to... So, yeah. We lived next door to each other. And I had to say, well, we're Siamese, but then again...
We're
if
moving.
You please. We're moving. Yeah. So we did that, and God did reward us, you know. We didn't know what we were going to do. So our house sold faster than we anticipated. And we didn't know if we were going to build again, but build small, or were we going to buy, you know, we just didn't have a house picked out.
Yeah.
So we moved, thankfully, into a townhome that our friend rented out to us, and then you guys, you can tell the
moved
rest.
too. Yeah, I mean, so Cathrine and I were next door neighbors for 18 years. Our family moved in next door to their family the day before 9/11 in 2001, and then the world fell apart for a period of time, but we just came together, and when we became close friends, it was pretty like we're solid friends.
Yeah, because we didn't know each other before that.
Not at all. No.
Right.
And our three youngest kids are about the same age as her children, like her span, you know. And our boys really got along well, and even your girls and my kids played, you know, and I would take her youngest child, I would take her out on these little field trips for just the youngest in the family, because I was like, oh, I'm the youngest in my family, and I'm going to take Caleb, my baby, and her baby, and we're going for ice cream.
I always like to joke about, like, I wondered, so I'm the oldest child in my family, you're the youngest. What would it be like to have me, Patrick, who's my oldest, and your oldest, Nate?
Yeah, no.
Like,
they would be like, what? Why are we doing this? This is dumb.
it's dumb.
They're very left brain. So anyway, we had 18 years of raising kids together and doing life together and doing ministry together and just having fun. We had a lot of laughs. And then Cathrine comes with the news of, well, we're moving. And we're like, oh, okay. You know, we still went to the same church, and they moved to town, which is like just a 5-minute ride or so, 10 minute ride. So it wasn't like they were moving far, but then...
But it's not the same.
It's not the same, no. And then Ron and I got to thinking, because we're still out there in the country, and we're like, you know what? Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should downsize. And so we put our house up for sale, and it sold. And at the timing of when it sold, because it seems to me like, as I recall, it didn't sell as quickly as we had hoped. But the timing where it did sell was exactly the timing when the next door neighbor to you at the condo was moving out.
Yeah.
And it was January, and it was cold.
Yeah.
And so we moved in, rented the unit, and then we shared a wall. So where we used to be next door, now we are sharing a wall.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
That was fun.
It was fun
because
because we did. We would knock on the wall. And
I remember my husband one time, Pooh, he reprimanded me one time. He's like, stop that. Like I was
like
being
you're a
childish. It's so funny.
Hey,
but
if you're having fun, you're having fun.
I know. And the country mouse became a city mouse, and then the other country mouse became a city mouse.
So now we're in town, and we're sharing a condo wall, and we would like have barbecues on the patio, and it was just nice. We shared a lot of things together. I used to sneak into her house and scare her. That was fun.
Oh my gosh. Fun for her.
It was. But you know, like when you first downsized, you felt emotions of, oh no, you know, I don't want to leave my dream house. I mean,
yeah,
you know, and you didn't want to leave your bestie, but yet you didn't know then that God would work it out so that we could still be not only next door but next wall.
Yeah, right.
You know?
That's true. Yeah, it was definitely a leap of faith to do that, and trusting that God would, sort it all out.
And I guess that's really the takeaway from this whole episode, is that God does sort it all out. Mm-hmm. He does. We just have to surrender our financial life to the Lord. Done. Yeah. All right. Sign off.
Be obedient and let God take care of, all of the details.
For sure. And when we downsized, I mean, having 5 boys, that was a big deal. Mm-hmm. Feeding 5 boys was huge.
Well, you fed your boys too.
Thank you.
Some of them.
Yeah.
3 of them. Yeah.
Do you know how much milk we would go through? We would go through a gallon of milk every day, once a day.
Yeah, we were close to that too because we drank a lot of milk. Kenny and I drank a lot of milk. The girls did too.
Because if you line up 5 boys and you give them all a bowl of cereal, and then they want a second bowl of cereal, and then they want lunch, and then they have some with dinner, where's your gallon of milk?
Right.
We went through a gallon of milk every day and a loaf of bread every day. That's how it was for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So it was financially, a stretch. And I do remember one time I was at the grocery store and I had $20 to spend on groceries for 7 people.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And that was it. And it was cash.
That.
And it wasn't like I could fake anything. I'm like, I have this $20, and I was going through the store and I picked grapes because you could split that evenly, and I picked peanut butter because there was a lot of calories.
Yeah, it fills you up.
Yeah, and it was just so sad and depressing. And then I ran into somebody who I knew very well, who was close to us.
Yeah.
And I know that person would have helped us if I would have asked for help.
Right.
But I just couldn't.
But
the pride.
I wouldn't
humble
have,
pie.
I wouldn't have asked for help either.
And their cart was overflowing with every snack item that one could fathom.
Yeah.
Couldn't even fit more things in the cart. And I just looked at that and I just went, oh gosh.
Was that during the recession?
Yeah. It was the banking crisis of 2009, that led to the recession. That led to the housing market that just came to a halt.
Yeah, it was
the housing market came to a halt.
Yeah,
and that was very tough. Another time when I went to get groceries and I gave him my debit card or swiped it through the thing and it declined, and I was like, "Oh no, what do I do?
What's wrong with that card?"
Right? What?
The magnetic strip. It must be that.
It was the magnetic strip. Yeah. And then this pimple-faced kid behind the thing who got on the microphone and went, aisle 12, card decline. I'm like, what? No.
Okay, been there too. And have you ever felt like the little machine?
You're like, oh,
yeah. And when it says, I think it says declined in red. I'm not even sure. But it seems like it's flashing.
Yeah.
It seems like it's like, oh my gosh.
Bill. It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how about the time that we went to sign up for the gym? And this is my act.
This is, yes.
Okay.
And you were past that then.
Yeah, we were past a lot of the craziness of the financial
hardship
decline that happened in the world. Whatever. We were past that, thank God.
But you had PTSD.
I had PTSD about those decline things. And I go to the gym. Kat and we're going to get in shape.
Yeah.
We're going to get in shape. And we go to the gym, and I give my card over to Mr. Man Muscles, who swipes my card. And it declines. But there's money.
Right.
And I know there's money.
Right. And I'm all, nervous for you.
She's
I'm
like,
oh.
And I call Ron and I go, what's with the money? And he's like, there's money. Call the bank. Called the bank. And they shut down my card because they thought it was fraud. And I was offended. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, that's so funny.
I can work out if I want to, And then,
but they didn't ever see a gym in your records?
No, they did not, Catherine.
So
Thank you.
Red flag came up.
Yes, the red flag came up. Like Tracy DeGraff has never joined a gym. We've known her for many decades. There's no way she would do a thing like this.
That's what you get with a local bank.
I know. But we got past that as well. You know, there was one time when somebody at the grocery store, because I want to share this one story. I was at the grocery store and I had my purse on me, but my debit card, I had left my wallet behind in the car.
Yeah.
So I had shopped for groceries for all my kids and I had done the checkout thing, and then I'm scrambling for my debit card. And I said, oh my gosh, my debit card is in my wallet. I'm going to have to go out and get it. Can you just put my stuff aside? I'll be right back. There was a woman behind me who took her debit card and swiped it and paid for all of my stuff.
That's so nice.
It was such a blessing.
Yeah.
And I said, I have money.
Yeah.
But
I really do.
She said, nope. She said, I have to pay it forward. And I said, I can go to the bank and get you cash.
Yeah.
She said, no, absolutely not. I am paying it forward. So somebody had blessed her and she was blessing someone else. So I never forgot that.
That's wonderful.
It was beautiful. Okay, any other stories about downsizing?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
No.
I will say this about downsizing. It's scary at first, but once you kind of get your head wrapped around it, if you are downsizing and you are lowering your number one cost in your budget, which is your housing, it's going to help every single month.
Oh, yeah. I mean, talk about, peace in security. I did used to, have a hard time falling asleep at night when we were, like paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, and it's quite scary.
A good feeling.
And sadly, living in Illinois means that our property taxes are crazy. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can do something to alleviate the pain of the monthly taxes as well as the monthly mortgage, go for it.
Yeah,
do it.
I would
Alleviate
say
that pain.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to retirement.
Okay.
So our third takeaway was planning for retirement, and the bottom line is just to know your numbers.
That's a great starting point.
It is.
Know your numbers, and then go get some advice. You could do that just on the computer, I think. There's websites and things like that. Or you could do, like, I was so grateful when you had said that you guys went to Brett at Edward Jones and that he could plug in all your numbers and then give you a trajectory, kind of forecast of what life would look like for you financially in the future. And we did that, and it's a huge blessing.
When my generation hit our 20s, when we hit our 20s and we went to college and all of that, nobody told us about retirement or talked to us about retirement. Now, I have to say, I do remember my dad saying when I was younger, when I got my first job or whatever, save 5%. He never elaborated on that.
No.
Like, you're going to have to save this for retirement. He was just like encouraging savings.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never really did it. But today's kids, I think they're getting more information probably because of the internet.
Yeah.
And you have access to a lot more information. But like all my kids save for the retirement, and I'm sure yours do too.
Mm-hmm.
So saving for your retirement from the youngest age.
Best thing you could do.
It is.
Absolute best thing you could do. I know my parents, they would, knew they saved. I knew that they had CDs and they had all this stuff, but my mom would always say, take care of your pennies and your pennies will take care of your dollars, things like that. And I knew she was savvy and frugal and all the stuff, but, and I'm not blaming them, but I really didn't know about investing. It wasn't something that we ever discussed. And I really think grade schools, junior high, high school, they really think that they should have classes that teach you about retirement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's IRAs and Roth IRAs and all the stuff. You have to learn that.
You know who has a high school curriculum about finances is Dave Ramsey. He has an actual curriculum that their ministry sells to high schools that teaches them just financial literacy, learning terms and learning principles of finance that will help them if they grasp it at a younger age. It can really help them avoid a lot of pain.
That's
down
just
the road.
Thing. I think public schools should adopt that.
I do too, because I remember learning how to write a check in high school.
Yeah,
but
we had consumer ed.
Somehow I missed the memo because when I was
reconcile.
Yeah, when I was in college, I had checks, and I was like, I can't be overdrawn. I have lots of checks.
No.
Yes.
You really thought that?
Well, I thought I have a check. I'll just write a check.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Lord help me. Not so good. So anyway, with retirement, knowing your numbers, I'm 100% positive that is the key, to know what you need in order to retire with a lifestyle that you want, right?
Right.
And if you've never done it, you don't know what you need or what you want, sit down and figure it out.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah, because, you've got different sources of income in retirement. So you might have your pension if you have one, if you're blessed, to have one of those. You might have an IRA, an individual retirement account, or you might have stocks and bonds, things that are in the stock market or the bond market. All of that could be considered income. Sit down with someone, like she said, you can go to any Edward Jones.
Yeah.
Or you could do someone like that.
Right, exactly.
And they'll do a free consultation with you and help you to map out a plan. Or you could sit down with a family member or a friend, whatever, just to kind of go over. Finances is kind of like getting on a scale. It's embarrassing.
I just hurt my neck laughing about that.
It is. Who wants to get on that financial scale and actually take a solid look? Like, where are we and how did we get here? And what are we going to do about it, Tracy? You have gained weight. Yeah, there's a lot of emotions that are involved. Just like when I was describing that story of being in the grocery store with only $20 and running into someone who I knew very well who had a plethora of food. I mean, it would call that food scarcity, I mean, we definitely had food scarcity, but yet I was too emotional to ask for help with that.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know your numbers about retirement, and trust me, friends, those decades come around pretty dang fast.
They sure do.
They do.
Right.
And you'll be staring down the barrel of 60, which is going to be my number that I'm turning this year. I am turning 60 this year, and that time flew.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be unaware of what your numbers are and what your income, is going to be. And don't forget, you're going to have Social Security income, so get that figured out. Also, you could potentially work. You could retire from a job and you can collect Social Security and also earn an income.
Yeah.
So look at all of those.
Just know knowledge is power.
It is.
Yeah. So
it is. And
get in the know of your numbers.
And not knowing is not helping.
No.
It isn't.
Do you remember?
What?
This one time we were going to like the St. Francis, the nuns' big old garage sale.
Yeah.
We would go up to the ATM, like put the card in. Remember that? Crossing the fingers. Jeez.
Do you remember what I bought there?
No,
okay.
I don't.
You'll probably remember when I tell you. We went to this, it was the nuns.
Yeah.
It was the Catholic Church garage sale that they did every year. I bought a sleigh bed. Remember those big oak?
Is that where you bought that?
Yes, I bought it from there.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes.
And I thought that I was buying a headboard and a footboard, but it was actually two footboards. And I get it home and I paid like $50.
Yeah.
And I thought, finally I get a sleigh bed, and I get it home and Ron goes, they're the exact same size. These are two footboards. What do you want me to do with it? And it sat in our living room behind the couch for like 2 years.
No.
It did.
Oh, that would have drove me crazy.
Well, I didn't see it after a while. But then after a while, Ron decided to put it together and he like rigged it up so that one was higher than the other. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we moved from there, we couldn't take it apart easily because of the way it was constructed. Anyway.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah,
Good
but
times.
that $50 went to the sisters, so they did something with it.
The convent.
All right. Anything else that you wanted to say about enjoying your life through financial well-being and retirement planning?
Well, I can say that making those hard decisions is well worth it. It's a good payoff. And just blessed. I'm glad I was obedient with that.
Yeah. As hard as it is sometimes to let go of things, like even when you're letting go of regrets, mistakes, or even just like a financial situation that is kind of pressed upon you. Because, there's illnesses or surgeries, there's the Great Recession, there's housing market falls apart. There's all kinds of things.
There is. That was the case with us. Kenny had been out of work for 9 months when our kids were very young. And it was a big setback for us at the time because we were just, starting out in life and not being able to, have an income And I wasn't working. I had odd things here and there. So it was a really bad setback. And then after that was the recession, and so, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
But letting go of pride really was a thing we needed to do.
Yeah. And once you let go, you let God.
Yeah.
He takes it from there.
Right.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up and land this plane.
Okay.
Let's go to some inspirational scripture.
Okay.
Proverbs 3, verses 9 and 10 says this: "Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your increase. Then your barns will be filled with plenty and your vats will overflow with new wine." And it's a principle,
Right.
That you put God first. He brings the blessing. And he really did. I mean, both of us put God first with downsizing, and now he has brought the blessing. We still live on the same street. We both have small homes that are affordable. They're comfortable and safe, and our guys did a great job. In fact, we had to tell Muffin to stop the demolition because he's destroying a bathroom in our house and redoing it. So, it's been a wonderful blessing.
Yeah, and I want to add to that. That's another thing that was so good about having more financial freedom is you could give more.
Oh,
You could give more of your time. You
Yeah.
could give more financially. I just feel that, I know.
There's
that
freedom.
When you're,
Like you said, it's
you can
freedom.
Contribute more to charities, tithing, whatever it is. So,
Yeah.
first fruits.
Our call to action today is to really know your numbers, friends. Know your numbers of your finances. Don't be afraid of it. If you have debt, know what you have. Work on the debt. If you want to plan for retirement, know what you're going to have. Plan for retirement. So just get your numbers together, know them, and then work from there.
Yeah. Don't just cross your fingers and go, ooh, hope it works out. Because God wants to help you, but
Right.
you gotta be
involved.
You gotta be involved.
You have to be conscious.
Yeah.
Also, we want to encourage you to subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to us on. Like, share, follow us on socials. Give us a little heads up. I don't know, a little shout.
Get your finances in order so you can contribute to us a little
There you
more.
go. $5.
That's the moral of the story.
Scrape up
Come on now.
$5
Come
a
on.
month. We love you guys. We
Yeah.
really do. We prayed for you before we started this episode. And
Yeah.
we've been there, we've done that, we've been through it. And we pray for you that God will lead you to financial health. All right. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraff.
I'm still Catherine.
See you next time.